Welcome to another edition of Points of Interest, brought to you by the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce. My name is Paul Boucher. I'm the President and CEO of the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce. And as we do each week, we present you with a program of the activities going on in the Upper Valley and have an exciting guest with us, this week being no different, and we'll get to our guest in a moment. The activities this week in the Upper Valley is we have our concerts in the parks on Mondays, our farmers markets on Thursdays with the Front Porch Series Thursday nights with their program. And so this week being no different, another busy week as we come to toward the end of summer. But there are other groups that are participating in activities this week. One of them is the Artists and Crafters Enrollment in Lebanon, and this is going to be held at 7 p.m. on Wednesday at the Conference Room A at Dartmouth-Hitchcock Medical Center. And bring a sample of work for open enrollment through Lebanon Arts and Crafts Association. And I suspect what they do is you bring your products in and it's juried, and so that you may participate in their Christmas sale of locally done projects and pieces of art. And so those who are interested, again, it's on Thursday, 7 p.m., Conference Room A at Dartmouth-Hitchcock Medical Center. And then if you're a little on the lazy side, we have, they do this every year, the ladies at the Emblem Club, which are at the Elks Club, on Wednesdays, they have chicken barbecue takeout, 3 to 6 p.m., and all you got to do is drive by, they'll give you the bag and pay your fee. It's only $8, and it's quite a meal, having had it once before. So pick up a couple of chickens for dinner, and also help the Emblem Club there. We have at the Lebanon Opera House on Wednesday, La Traviata at 7:30 p.m., and it's an opera by Giuseppe Verdi, and 7:30 p.m. This is the second week of the running, and I would suggest you call ahead for reservations, as they've been selling out the last performances. So that is on Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. at the Lebanon Opera House. We mentioned the Thursdays in the Park, beginning at noontime with the kids program. And then this week we have Lucky Bob. He's a juggler and comedian. So bring the kiddies, noontime, bring a lunch, and you can sit there and have lunch and enjoy the entertainment there. 4 o'clock we have the farmers market, and that they run 4 to 7 p.m. They have entertainment also, and this week it is Mike Morris who will be playing at the farmers market from 4 to 7. Then just hang around, and then you can have the Front Porch Series at on the green also, and that begins at 7 o'clock. So you get a full day of activity on the park. And in addition, and something I've neglected to mention in the past, the Soldiers Memorial Building, which is right off the park, is sort of a museum type of thing of memorabilia, particularly going back to Civil War times, and very interesting to look at. And so that will be at the same time as the farmers market, and you can avail yourself of that. And the entertainment this week in Front Porch Series is, I guess I don't have it. We'll have to find out for you and let you know. But it's going to be an exciting program. We have ongoing activities also that run throughout the summer. Enfield Shaker Museum, just a short ride out of town. They're open 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and you can get guided tours of the Shaker Museum and the buildings out there. Very interesting things to see that they have out there. Ava Gallery Art Center is open 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily, right here off the green. So see a lot of the things that are done locally by the local artists who in fact have their studios upstairs at the gallery, and display downstairs at the Ava Gallery. We have some big events coming up. We have This is the second year that they're trying it, but the City of Lebanon, rather than have 4th of July fireworks, decided to postpone until the end of the year and have a final fling of the year. And so it's going to be Thursday, August 28th, here at the park. And going to have a music fest. They're going to have continuous music from 4 o'clock through 7. 7 to 8:30, dance fest. And at 8:45, the fireworks. At the same time, the 4 to 7, the farmers market will be there also. So that is the 28th. And if you can't make the activities, the fireworks are going to be at Storrs Hill Ski Area. A couple of good places to watch it from is Logan Field here on Water Street, or even at the parking lot on Mechanic Street at the River Mill Complex. So some beautiful fireworks there, and they say that by doing it later in the year, that they get more bang for the buck as far as getting fireworks there. Also coming up, which is a chamber-sponsored event, September 27th, and we'll be talking about that until that time. Lebanon Chamber, in partnership with the City of Lebanon, is doing a Wings and Wheels, a celebration of Lebanon at the airport. This is going to be on the 27th, which is on a Saturday, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Going to have some classic airplanes. We've got some World War II planes already booked. We have a biplane. We have the helicopter from Dartmouth. Medical helicopter will be there, working on a couple of other helicopters to be there, and a couple of experimental planes. In addition, the experimental airplane group is going to be giving rides to any people, the youngsters from 8 to 17, and so there'll be rides available. Cape Air will be doing some 4 rides during the day. It's going to be done on more of a lottery for them, but you'll be able to take the commercial line and come back. And then, but the Young Eagles, which is the other project, is going to be all day long. That youngsters will be able to take a ride on the plane. On the other side of the airport, we're going to have classic cars, and we've got some groups up here that have some beautiful cars, and they will be there. We'll have some exhibitor booths from chamber members who will show their wares, and we will have food vendors. We have 3 food vendors booked, and then we'll have the police department with the police dogs. They're doing some demonstrations. Alice Peck Day Hospital will be doing blood pressure clinic, and the fire department will be there with their equipment. So really exciting day there with September 27th, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And we'll keep you posted as we go along on that particular project. So this week we have with us Jim Lawrence. Jim Lawrence is from Hudson, New Hampshire, and is seeking the seat on the 2nd Congressional District here in New Hampshire. We'll be going through the primaries first, and then the general election further on. And so, Jim, we welcome you to the program today.
Paul, thanks for having me today.
Jim, a little bit about your background, education and work and that type of thing.
Well, Paul, I served 3 terms in the New Hampshire State House. I was an Air Force veteran. I graduated from the United States Air Force Academy. Small business owner. Proud parent of 8 children.
Oh!
Yeah, I figure if I can manage a household with 8 children, I can do a good job down in Washington. But I have 2 kids that are in college age currently. My daughter is very proud of her. She's going to UNH this fall, so I'm looking very much forward to that. But I'm getting involved in this race here, primarily because, my kids, I was fearful for their future and the America that they were going to inherit. I saw the policies of President Barack Obama, supported 95% of the time by Representative Ann Custer, and I looked at what they were doing. They were destroying the American way, and they were damaging the future for my children. So I had to do something about that.
Now, we talked earlier off camera, but District 2, which is where we are here in Lebanon, is pretty funny the way it's
the lines were drawn in a very, very haphazard manner. You look at it, it's pretty much divides the state east and west with some exceptions, and the southern tier goes all the way out to Salem. And then, of course, it has the entire North Country, north of the Lakes region as well. So it's a very large district. It's almost 70% of the state.
Uh, The, and as we talked also before, the largest population and things of that nature, how they broke down the nation. And first of all, we have to say, you're running on the Republican ticket.
I am. I'm seeking the Republican nomination for the 2nd Congressional District here in New Hampshire for the right to face Representative Ann Custer, who's our current Congresswoman.
Is she running unopposed?
She is running unopposed.
And you have
I have a
other
primary
candidates?
coming up. As a matter of fact, I'm running against 2 candidates.
Sure.
One, Representative Marilinda Garcia. Second one is Senator Gary Lampert. You know, it's amazing. As I travel all over this state, you know, the people are coming to me and are telling me that they're happy to see me in this race. First and foremost, they say, you know, Representative Marilinda Garcia, who I served in the State House. She's a good conservative. I had the honor of meeting her. But I'm hearing the constituents of this state say that they fear that she might not be able to relate to the average voter. They do appreciate the fact that I've had the opportunity to live on my own, pay a mortgage, pay property taxes, make educational choices for my children. I'm a veteran, small business owner. I know how to create jobs in the economy. I know what the government's doing to prevent small businesses from succeeding in this economy as well. So I'm hearing from the voters that they appreciate that experience, that life experience, and that's one of the reasons why I feel my candidacy is building momentum right now.
Once in Congress, and this has always fascinated me, is how you balance your family life with your electoral life. I mean, with that, I'm sure you get a few at home still.
I do.
How you and your bride are going to, you know, I'm going to go to Washington on Tuesdays and be back Fridays, or do I live there? How does that usually work out?
Well, I'm sure since we're here at the Chamber of Commerce, you know well, being a small business owner does not allow for a lot of time to be at home as well. I mean, we do the best we can. We have a very active family life. Luckily, a lot of my children are older. You know, one of the things that happened is I served 3 terms in the State House in New Hampshire. I decided to step down. It was time to let other citizens take that role because I don't believe in career politicians anyway. But a big portion of that decision was so that I could invest time with my family while my kids were younger and also focus more on my business. Now I'm ready to serve again.
With all the turmoil, you know, we see around the world right now, it's going to be a challenging, when you're elected, it's going to be a challenging time. As we mentioned, the primaries in September, the general in November. You would take office in January?
That's correct.
And I'm sure none of these problems have gone away. Being a veteran, how do you foresee your role in, do you have insights or because of your military experience?
Well, absolutely. I mean, being a veteran, I am shocked at the lack of responsiveness from our government in Washington. President Barack Obama has a failed foreign policy, worst foreign policy in decades. We have our enemies all over the world are being emboldened by the fact that we have a lack of response. Our allies don't feel like, you know, that they can count on us right now. It's a very unfortunate situation. You know, this is part and parcel to the reasons why I felt compelled to run. I feel we need stronger leadership in Washington, and we need it now.
Is there as much turnover expected in the House this year? I know the last election, it was quite a bit of legislators who either were defeated or decided to retire. Do you see much of that this time around? I don't know if you've kept track of that or...
Well, you know, I can't make predictions as to what's going to happen on Election Day. I know one thing, I'm going to fight very hard to make sure that our current Congresswoman is replaced. I think that's essential. She's supported Barack Obama 95% of the time. She's the she's a self-professed largest supporter of President Barack Obama. I think that's outrageous. We have a president and a congresswoman now from New Hampshire that are supporting policies that are destroying America. I want to end that. And that's why I'm fighting hard to be the conservative grassroots choice of the people, to win back New Hampshire from the federal government.
I know there was a story this weekend of wanting to build a missile detection, I guess it is, plant up in Maine. Because basically, I guess we're the only part of the country that's really not protected should we get an onslaught of missiles, yet people are against it. You know, I don't know, I see it as a no-brainer, but your opinion.
Well, one of the most important things that we can do is to secure ourselves here. You know, we need to protect American interests and we need to protect America. And that's why I'm so outraged at some of the things that I see coming from President Barack Obama and his administration. This has to stop. As a veteran, you know, I hate to say this, you know, I was very fortunate. I went to the Air Force Academy, one of the best decisions I ever made. But I can honestly tell you that a first-year cadet at the United States Air Force Academy knows that you don't tell or communicate to your enemy when your withdrawal strategy is, what your plans are, what your timelines are. You know, that's just an example of a big mistake being made by President Barack Obama. And, you know, I would view not taking our security seriously for things like missile defense as another big mistake. We can't afford those kinds of decisions in Washington.
And the usual question, Obamacare, as far as the health insurance issue. I know that affected a lot of our members here at the Chamber.
It's affected a lot of members everywhere in the state. What really surprises me about Obamacare is that no matter where I am in the state, when I talk to people, whether they were for it before or they were against it, they seem to be all against it now because there's so many horror stories. The people of New Hampshire got hurt by Obamacare. I'm in favor of repealing Obamacare because what we had before was certainly better than what we have now. People were promised that they'd be able to keep the doctors that they had, and they can't. People were promised it was going to be cheaper. In a lot of cases, it's more expensive. I was just up in Bethlehem the other day. I was talking to Peter, who told me a horrible story about how his daughter could no longer go to the specialist that she was seeing when he switched to Obamacare, and now she had to leave the country to get her health care treatment. That's outrageous. That's not America.
The other issue is, again, Chamber interest is the economy. Where are we going and with that issue?
Well, I'm a small business owner. I'm a small business owner that knows how to get things done. I'm not a lawyer. You know, I look at things simplistically. I know personally firsthand what the government has done to get in the way of my small business succeeding. I know what they've done to prevent me from being able to hire new employees, prevent me from growing. With government overregulation, overtaxation of small businesses, it's amazing that small businesses can even survive in this economic environment. We need a change in Washington. You know, the best thing that I can do if I am the congressman elected from this state is to help get the federal government out of the way of businessmen so that they can do the things that they need to do to succeed and grow the economy. As a small business owner, if I'm in Washington, I'm going to be fighting for the small businesses on Main Street all across this state and all across this country. And that's the best thing that I can do to help spur on our economy.
New initiatives that we've not talked about that you'd like to see you undertake in Washington?
Well, first and foremost, foreign policy. Somebody needs to hold the President of the United States accountable to have a no-nonsense foreign policy and a defense structure or a defense posture that's going to make us stronger, not weaker. Right now, our enemies are being emboldened. Our allies don't feel like they can count on us. And I fear, as a veteran, that we're going to have to bear the cost of human life and cost in dollars of another major conflict and deploying forces overseas. I don't want to see that. We need someone who's going to hold President Barack Obama accountable.
One of the comments you made earlier was serving so much time in a particular office and then leaving. You see yourself limiting yourself to a number of terms when elected?
Well, certainly. I mean, I don't believe that someone should go and seek a representative position, whether it's at the state level or in Washington, D.C., and view that as a career. That's not what it was intended for. It was intended for citizens to volunteer their time, to represent their citizens, which is an honor, and then when they were done doing the work that they were sent down there to do, to come back home and carry on with their lives. I'm not going to make a career out of politics.
And you'll be burning up the flight line from Washington to Manchester or whatever. Okay, so let's remind everyone the primary election is when?
September 9th is a primary election. I can give you my pledge. If I have the honor of being your nominee, I will win back our state from the federal government. I will win back our options for health care, our options for education, our options for prosperity by stopping overregulation and overtaxation of businesses and individuals. And I will win back our state from the federal government.
Very good. As a reminder also, at the primaries in September will also be the local elections being for governor, governor's council, Senate race, and the House seats. You have given up your seat, you finished your term, or did you not run the last time? Did you run the last time?
No, I ran for 3 terms,
Okay.
and then I decided
And that
to go
ended-
back and become a private citizen
Okay,
for a
so
while.
you're not an incumbent now?
I am not an
Okay.
incumbent now.
Okay, so your seat is spoken for, or somebody's running for that seat?
That's correct.
Out of Hudson, yes.
As I said before, not a career politician.
Yeah, excellent. And so, as I mentioned, we're going to have, the primaries will be for governor, Congress, Senate, governor's council, and I guess that's it. But very exciting times, and we urge you to get out to vote in September. And we will remind you each week as we go along that to remember to vote and to look at the backgrounds of the candidates and make your choices from that. So that's another program of Points of Interest brought to you by the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce. And we'll be back next week with another program. Until then.